A child in good health, whose relationship with himself and adults is harmonious, takes pleasure in being active from birth. He shows curiosity towards his environment, both when playing and when interacting with an adult.
I have to put cream on your neck. Here it is, on my hand. Which do you want to wear? The red one? All right, I'll put it on. You've opened your hand. Your nails are so long, you'll scratch your face. Be careful, Victor. If you move your hand, I might hurt you by accident with the scissors. Can I go on now?
Watching children left free to move and secure in their surroundings gives us the opportunity to observe whole sequences of their spontaneous interaction with objects. This film studies the variations in attention shown by children aged from 9 to 12 months during periods of play. Different types of attention can, of course, also be seen before or after this age, and analysis of longitudinal observations will show us the times when they appear in a child's development, as well as their distribution and length as he grows up. But the end of the first year seems to be a good time for identifying the main forms. At this moment, Victor, 11 months old, is letting his interest wander from one thing to another. He is, however, receptive to his environment, notably to the camera. He's a little dreamy. His attention is divided.
Victor.
Victor was actually expecting his lunch. When he's called, his choice is clear.
You can come closer to the side of the pen. I'll put your bib on. Come on. You have done well, haven't you?
Victor has been playing for some minutes with this plastic bowl. He has put the cube back in several times. He's watching it. Sometimes he looks around, but then comes back to the object of his interest. His enjoyment is obvious. His attention is sustained, continuous. Was that chance or Victor's intention? The bowl is now almost flat on the floor, and he has changed his position. A pause, a glance at the camera, and Victor returns to his play. He seems to have a plan which is holding his attention, but he remains aware of the other toys. Then he sees something, looks for it. It's a ring. Has he grasped the similarity of shapes? His attention intensifies. He repeats his efforts several times, becomes slightly irritated. Though the task he has set himself is difficult, he carries on. We have seen Victor's divided attention before his meal, periods of sustained attention during this last sequence, of very focused attention, and then sustained attention again, always punctuated by short pauses. We will observe the same phenomenon in all the other children too, with slight qualitative and quantitative differences characteristic of each of them. Victor seems to be tired. His attention starts to flag. At this moment, Edith's attention is divided. Edith is 9 months old. Her interest goes from elements of her environment to her physical sensations to the sounds she is making. She is active, relaxed, and serene, but only slightly engaged in her actions. Her interest becomes more absorbed. She seems intrigued by the lace of her bootie, the fact that it is tied to her foot, then the free end of the lace. She briefly focuses on something else, but then, still talkative, comes back to the lace. She changes between sustained and divided attention. Here, at 11 months old, she has a plan with this ball and enters more deeply into her action. In this form of sustained attention, the child usually moves. Edith moves over a wide area. Victor made movements with his whole body. An incident interrupts this sequence. Upset, Edith looks around, sucks her thumb, finds a handkerchief, then another one almost the same. Her attention wanders off. She daydreams a bit. Then she seems to be looking for something. Finds the object of her interest, and off she goes again. It is the holes in this small disc that are holding Gubby's attention. Gubby is 10 months old. She seems to be bringing together two similar things, the holes in the two objects. In this state of sustained attention, one feels that she is familiar with her toys. She knows where to find their typical features and how to handle them. Deep in her play, she's completely at home with it. And just like the other children, lets her emotions break through. Interspersed with pauses, these sequences of sustained attention can go on for long periods. Suddenly, as with Victor, her attention is caught. Her expression becomes more serious. She appears to have noticed their similarity. She's looking for the holes. At this moment, one feels that the two tortoises are the only things that exist for Gubby. Now she goes back to what she was doing with them before. This little boy, Gabor, 12 months old, seems to be looking for an object. He lies down comfortably and plays, using gestures he already knows. His attention is sustained. His gestures look as if they are repeating former experiences, which he is looking for again. Like Gubby, Gabor can stand up, but this state of focused attention can only come about in a body posture which the child is perfectly at home in. He is silent, and his movements are reduced to a minimum. Such concentration at this age is always brief. To get out of it, Victor started sucking his thumb, Gubby went back to a state of sustained attention, Gabor breaks into movement. Let us look at some scenes again. Divided, scattered, free-floating attention. This happens when the child is expecting something or preoccupied by something. The child appears to have no precise plans other than what he is expecting or is preoccupied by. Also, this type of attention occurs without any clear reason. It's a quite easy, pleasant period, during which the child seems to be free, receptive to what comes to him from outside, and to his own sensations. Sustained attention. The child carries on the same activity for a long time, while letting himself be interrupted by events which he then either does or doesn't include in his actions. It's a period when he reproduces gestures and sequences of experiences he has already mastered. Some small variations appear, with which he improves the precision of his movements and gestures. He already knows what he's doing, but he seems to be working at perfecting and internalizing his knowledge. Focused attention. The child's attention is concentrated. He seems to be discovering facts which are new to him and wants to achieve effects. He is completely absorbed in his actions. His mental effort is perceptible. He seems to be experimenting, integrating new knowledge, and organizing new skills and abilities. Relaxation, rest. The child's sequences of interaction with toys are interspersed with states of relaxation and rest. He appears to be doing nothing. He's no longer paying attention, or his attention seems to be somewhere else. Or else he seems to be moving for the sake of moving. These periods have their function too. A sequence of play with Barbara, 1 year old, who was a premature baby, takes us back to an overall view. The different forms of attention all appear to be equally important, and their presence in the child's play is both an indication of her equilibrium and a factor in her development. However, it should be emphasized that the borders between them are not always clear-cut. Lastly, as we have seen, interruptions of various lengths and all sorts of changes always appear during a child's periods of play. They are made easier by freedom of movement and are part of an essential self-regulating mechanism which makes it possible for the different types of attention to appear. At this point, Barbara's attention is divided. What is she focusing on? The toy in her hand, the perception of her body movements, putting the toy back in her mouth, the sounds she is making, or is it the movement of her feet on the car that interests her? The quality of Barbara's attention is changing. She's making the experience more complicated. The object of her interest has changed slightly, but the intensity of her absorption remains the same. A different object, but concentrating on the same process. And that's enough. Was this play or work? The playing child's attention is closely connected to his relationship with the adult.
This is my hand. I'm going to fasten your play suit with it, all right? There's only one sock to put on now, Barbara. What are you telling me? This is my mouth. You're touching my mouth.